Hey, what's going on everybody? NGS back again for another video. It's time for another haul video, another pickups video. It's been a while since I've done one, and I actually have quite a lot against my better judgment of things to update you guys on that I've picked up in the past couple of months actually. I believe the last one I did was back towards the end of June, and it's now the end of August, so it's been 2 months or so. So over the past couple of months, this summer has been really interesting for me. I got to do a lot of things that normally I'm not able to do. I've definitely felt a lot more independent in terms of being on my own and doing things on my own. And I actually had a chance to take my very first vacation by myself. As you guys know, I don't really travel too often if it's not like in the northeast side of the United States. I really don't go to too many places, mainly because I'm just can't find the time to do that. But this summer I managed to take a trip down to Texas and see what it is like down south. I've been to the down south before, I mean Georgia, Alabama, places like that, but I've never actually stayed there for like an extended period of time more than a couple of days. So I managed to spend an entire week out there chilling with my boy Dante86. If you guys saw the Guardians of the Galaxy review we did, link down below in the description, and you will see that we had a lot of fun there. And it was just a great time, you know, just getting out of like my normal comfort zone and just like experience things and being a little bit more independent. So it was awesome, and I managed to pick up a couple of things in Texas, and I'll probably do a Texas vlog, just like, you know, my experience, personal stuff, like, you know, just going through that and getting there and all that. I might do that if you guys want to see it. But I managed to pick up a lot of manga, Blu-rays, video games, and DVDs in the past couple of months. Some of these are kind of, I'm not gonna say they're like really old from things that I've done, but I just haven't had a time to sit down and do a proper update for them. So since it's been a while since I've done manga, we might as well start with that. So first and foremost, the first bulk of manga that I got, actually I'm gonna save this one for later because it's not really a surprise, but it's quite a lot of them. The first one that I got was, as you guys know, I went to Sakura Matsuri this year, and actually went to the actual festival. Last year there were complications, I couldn't go, so I just chilled with YouTubers. But this year we actually went, and we visited the Japanese bookstore in the city known as Kinokuniya. And like I said, I love going to Kinokuniya, their manga and stuff, but for the most part, I order all my manga on Right Stuff and Barnes & Noble whenever they have a buy two get one free. Cheaper, it's more effective that way. But I was like, feeling like, hey, when in Rome, you know, might as well buy it. I picked up this because there were a lot of recommendations from the people we were traveling with. I picked up the 3-in-1 for Vagabond. This is my first time picking up one of Viz's 3-in-1, so it's pretty awesome to me. I've never realized how big this one is. I've always saw like the Viz Bigs and these, but I never really got to like thought to myself, okay, if I'm gonna get one of these, it's got to be for a series that I really want to read and enjoy and stuff. And everyone's just said, yeah man, get Vagabond, it's awesome. And I'd seen the art for it, it looks fantastic, so detailed. So I can't wait to check this out. And this is some legit shit right here, man. You could kill people with this book. Is there a lot of death in Vagabond? That would work well then. You could kill people with this book, and people die in the book. Yuck, yuck, yuck. But yeah, man, you know, that explicit content right there, so it's gonna be some crazy stuff going on, man. You know, I'm expecting all kinds of, you know, jaywalking, and I'm expecting, you know, people, you know, flipping people the bird and stuff. There's gonna be some crazy stuff, and man, if they freaking leave the dinner table without pushing in their chair, yo, man, that's about to be some crazy shit. I'm gonna fucking lose it. So I got Vagabond. Thank you for everybody who recommended it to me. I will get down to starting it at some point when I finish up my manga backlog. So now that's out of the way. The biggest manga haul that I got was Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble a couple months ago had a buy two get one free on a lot of manga. And I mean, most of the manga that I was trying to get in the sale was stuff that I needed to either catch up on or finish entirely. As you guys know, I finished up the Bakuman manga collection last fall, and there really weren't too many series that I had to finish that Barnes & Noble had. Most of them were just like new series that only had 1 or 2 volumes, and I don't want to just start series and just leave them in the library like that and never go back to them. I wanted to start something that I knew had a lot of them, that Barnes & Noble carried, and I knew I could pick it up. And I picked up a whole crap ton of Blue Exorcist, also known as Aoi no Exorcist. So I picked up Blue Exorcist Volume 3, picked up Blue Exorcist Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, Volume 7, and Volume 8. And I believe at the time 9 was out, or 9 was getting ready to come out, or whatever, but I only picked up these because I think there was only an even amount of manga that I could get. And it came out to a really cheap price, so it was awesome. I was able to pick this up. Haven't read more Blue Exorcist past Volume 2. I mean, I've seen the anime twice. I really did enjoy that, but I'm really interested to see how far the manga goes and how different it is compared to the anime. And if I like it a lot, I hope we can get a season 2. Or at least like a reboot or something, you know, that continues on. But yeah, as far as the manga pickups go, Vagabond as well as Blue Exorcist 3 through 8. And Blue Exorcist is a series I'm not going to try to read non-stop because I know it's a monthly series, so I'm going to hold off on that. Alright, now that we've gotten manga out of the way, since we're in the realm of Japan and all that stuff, we might as well move straight into anime. Actually, before we move into anime, my bad. Let's move into, since we're in the realm of fudge. Yeah, we're in the realm of fudge, people. That's where we are right now. That's where we are. Final Fantasy X HD just dropped and almost fell into my dinner plate. Since we're in the realm of literature, as you guys know, I'm not really too big in comics as much as I used to be as a kid. Well, even when I was a kid, I wasn't really too crazy into comics if they weren't Spider-Man or, you know, Batman-related stuff. But you guys know that I do not read any current Spider-Man stuff at all. I am not a fan of what they've been doing with the character, the BS that they pulled, you know, with him giving up his love for Mary Jane and all the stuff since then, and then dealing with Miles Morales and all that crap. I'm not a fan of it. But my friend convinced me to pick this up because it is actually a very good read, and I thank him for that because it was a very good read. Still goes to show it goes to show that there's still some good writers out there when they're not constantly having them reboot something or retcon something or just whatever. And that is Spider-Man Family Business, or Amazing Spider-Man Family Business. Usually I buy comics digitally. But this one I just had to pick up. I loved the crap out of it when I read it online. And yes, I did read a scan of it, but I did pick it up because I love something. If I read something or watch something online and I really enjoyed it, I pick it up. I can't say the same for a lot of other people, but yeah, I do like supporting things that I want to see more of. And this was just fantastic. I really love what they did with it. It's a freaking great read. You guys need to check it out. Honestly, if you're a fan of Spider-Man and all this nitty-gritty stuff, it's awesome. It's just completely out of this world. It's one of the best Spider-Man related things that I've read in years, and that's saying something. So, Amazing Spider-Man Family Business. Alright, so now that we've gotten all the literature out of the way, let's move to anime and stuff. So the first two I want to talk about because I got these earlier. Right? These were purchases that I actually just made on the fly. You know, every time I get off work early, I usually scope out the Best Buy that is like in the next town over, and I'm just like, all right, let's see what they got on sale. And usually I find something, usually I don't, but this summer I found a lot because they've been having some good deals. I actually bought some anime from Best Buy, something I have not done in years. When can somebody honestly say they have bought anime from Best Buy? Like, I haven't, honestly. Ever since I discovered Right Stuff, last thing I bought from Best Buy was like maybe a Naruto box set, because they had them shits like a week in advance before anybody else did, man. And then I discovered Right Stuff, and I'm like, oh, you can send shit early, but not all the time. Picked up two things. First off, we had to get a classic, Akira. I knew I was going to pick this up at some point. I was actually thinking of importing the European version because that has a steelbook. But I saw this here and it was $14.99 for the Blu-ray. I'm like, yo, F that. Comes with the newer dub as well as the older one. And it's Akira. What could I say? You either love it or you hate it. A lot of people say it's the most overrated anime movie. It is, but it's still awesome. It's still genuinely awesome movie. And you have to read the original work that it's based off of if you want the full complete experience, but a great deal nonetheless. $14.99. And this movie is from a director who I am a fan of. I've seen a couple of his past movies, actually I've seen 3 actually I've seen all his movies. Oh my god. But this was his latest masterpiece, as people are saying. It was hyped to hell and back, so much so that freaking Funimation had to advertise it after it already had come out in a panel. And of course I'm talking about Mamoru Hosoda's Mamoru Hosoda's, I probably butchered something, Wolf Children. Now everybody is talking up and down that this is one of the greatest anime films that they have ever seen. I'm going to do a review on this at some point after I watch it, and I know I'll probably do a review on it, so I'm not going to say much of it, but it's a good watch. I'll just say that. And the next two items were things that I actually received for my birthday. As you guys know, my birthday was last month on the 16th. I turned 21. And a couple of my very close friends actually gifted me some stuff. Being a huge fan of this series and seeing as how I was collecting the Blu-rays that were released for it, I think they kind of got together and thinking, what can we get Chris that'll be like, yo, this is going to shock him because he's not going to expect it. And of course, I'm talking about Yu Yu Hakusho Season 3 and Yu Yu Hakusho Season 4 on Blu-ray. And this completes my Yu Yu Hakusho Blu-ray collection. As you guys know, I have the DVD sets, and now I have the complete Blu-ray sets. So thank you very much to Crazy Black Man 108 as well as Dante86 for this. I did not expect it at all, and it's just awesome. Yu Yu Hakusho is a fantastic series, especially on Blu-ray. You're really not going to regret watching it. And while we're in the subject of Dante86, we might as well go into... I guess we're going to go into the Texas Hall, because most of the stuff that's here now was during the time that we were at Texas, except for this one Blu-ray. I know I keep saying these things, like, yeah, we're going to go into this, but really not. We actually have two more, and then we're going to touch the Texas Hall stuff. Two more. Wow, probably should have made this separate parts. These are steelbooks for movies that I'd never seen before until I... actually, there is one of them I'd seen, but the other one I hadn't. But I just loved watching this one over again because I realized like how much of a good movie it is, especially in this franchise. And I'm talking, of course, about The Wolverine. Target had this on sale for $10. And I want to talk a bit about The Wolverine. The Wolverine is my favorite movie in the X-Men universe, only because this is the only X-Men movie that actually gets a character right. James Mangold, I believe, is the director who did this. James Mangold? Yeah, James Mangold did a better job understanding the character of Wolverine than Bryan Singer in his 1, 2, 3 movies that he's done, than Brett Ratner, and with Matthew Vaughn. Well, you can't count Matthew Vaughn. But in the realm of X-Men characters and understanding and adapting, James Mangold did it the very best. He kept it to the core, it's true. And this is the character Wolverine. Like, and this movie got shat upon by people because it wasn't Bryan Singer. That's why I don't understand, like, this movie is true to its source material, and it's a decent movie. It's a better movie, in my opinion. It has more going for it than any of the things that Bryan Singer's done. But because it doesn't have Bryan Singer and, oh my god, his emotion and his drama, even though he butchered all these characters we grew up with, even though he butchered, you know, the source material, even though a lot of the things that the characters are doing don't make sense, and he's turned characters into wusses and all this stuff, it's got heart and feeling and drama and emotion and... as you can tell, I'm not really too much of a fan of Bryan Singer. But yeah, The Wolverine is it's a decent movie in the grand scheme of the X-Men universe. And the second one is something that I have seen only clips of and heard people talk about, but haven't really sat down to watch it, even though I know exactly what happens in the movie. I know the beginning, middle, end, I just never seen it. And I'm talking about Quentin Tarantino's Django Unchained. From the little things that I have seen and hearing the plot and stuff, it seems like something I'd enjoy, especially Quentin Tarantino. I'm not so serious, so I can't give a full opinion, but like Wolverine, it was $10 at Target, so I had to snag this up. I know they released another steelbook for this, but I was like, you know, I'm not going to worry about that. But, yeah, Django Unchained. And the stack is getting pretty high. Okay, now let's move on to the Texas Hall, since we're finally here. Whew. Alright, so, finally, I can say I've completed what is probably my favorite television series of all time. This is a series that I can never get tired of watching. I can always marathon it. Every 2 years, I just have a sit-down session where I watch the entire series. And now that I have it, I can just pop in all of the DVDs. And of course, I'm talking about The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I finally got season 2 and season 3, and that rounds off my entire collection. I started with season 1 in 2010, picked up season 4, I believe, in 2011. Then I picked up 5 and 6 in 2012, and now I picked up 2 and 3 in 2014. So it's been a weird journey, but I'm glad I finally have this, especially considering they were so cheap at $10. And they weren't like the really cheap discs that they give you after years of these being on the shelf. They just put it in a giant disc. I actually got the box sets, which is freaking awesome. But yeah, Fresh Prince is probably my favorite series of all time, next to stuff like That 70s Show. It's just laugh out loud hilarious. A lot of drama and heart goes into the show. A lot of emotion and feeling and passion, and you know, stuff that legit can make you cry. And I've cried a couple times watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I'm not even afraid to admit that. It's just a lot of stuff you go through, and you really get attached and love these characters and what they go through. And once you go to the final episode, it's just like, man, I need to be away for an hour or two. So yeah, I'm glad I finally added these final box sets to my collection, especially considering they were so cheap at $10. Not to mention, like, most of the stuff that I picked up, the Fresh Prince, and 2 more things I'm about to show you. We actually went to this place called Hastings. I know a lot of people down south probably like, yo, Hastings! Yeah, it's a freaking awesome place, but we don't have it up here, so, you know, I went there and I was just like, whoa. Go Eyes Dante 86, I was freaking the heck out. And for the other 2 things that I picked up at Hastings, actually not anime video game related. They're related to comic books. A lot of you guys probably collect these. I've seen a lot of people post on Instagram and on YouTube in general. They do unboxings. And a recent Loot Crate actually had a limited edition. I already spoiled so much. So you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about pop figurines. I know I'm not one to collect things like figures and stuff. If I have a badass figure, I have a badass figure. Cool. But these sort of things I never got into. However, I think that Hastings knew I was coming, because why would both Spider-Man and Nightwing be like right up front in the pop selection? Like, I'm just saying, man. So I managed to pick up both Spidey, my favorite hero, and Nightwing, my second favorite hero, up, and they were really cheap. They were, I think the standard price is $10, so they were the same price. But it's just really cool. I just have them on the bookcase of awesomeness right there. Spidey's a bobblehead, so you know his head goes like that. Nightwing isn't, but that's cool because he's the goddamn Nightwing, though. So this is awesome. I really do love these guys. I just see them sitting up there, and they're my 2 favorite characters. I'm probably going to collect some more of them. I know they just released the Dragon Ball Z set, so I might collect one of those. And I know they have the Groot one, so I'm going to see if I can get that real cheap. Probably not. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to really collect too many of them, but they're just awesome, dude. Just look at them. Look at them. Look at them. They're cool. I ain't gonna be like no Sonic fag and do a video of them fighting each other, but I'm just saying. Yeah. Actually, these guys can stay up here. Okay. That's really distracting. Actually, can you put them on top of each other? The fuck am I doing? Anyway, let's move on to video games that I picked up there. I picked up 2 games. They weren't from Hastings, but they were from the area. First and foremost, I got Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask. This we picked up at GameStop because there was currently a sale. It was going $10 for this, and I'm like, huh? Professor Layton? 3DS? I gotta buy that. So I haven't played it yet. I've played the Professor Layton series before, but just not any of the 3DS entries. So I'm glad to have this in my collection, especially considering Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright just came out, so I gotta pick that up as well. And I know this was against my better judgment, but considering I never bought this game, my brother did, so I played it off his, and I'm just like, yo, man, fuck it. I picked up The Last of Us Remastered. Hey, what can I say? The remaster looked freaking godlike in comparison to the original game, and just all kinds of awesomeness. So I just had to get it. You know, it was $50, and I didn't mind paying for it since I never bought The Last of Us in the first place. My brother did. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to pay you back, bro. You know, you can play that PS4 playthrough of The Last of Us. And yeah, this is right up there. This is right up. This is one of the best remasters I've seen. It's fantastic. So yeah, if you haven't played Last of Us, have a PS4, pick it up on that. I don't care if you have a PS3 and you can find Last of Us for like $30. Just get it on PS4. If you have a PS3 and PS4, just get it on PS4. So much better. So much better. It's a fantastic game. Alrighty. And I believe that is almost it as far as pickups. There were a couple things I picked up since then, like, you know, games and stuff. As you guys know, I'm playing Xillia 2 right here, Tales of Xillia 2, and some other stuff digitally on the Vita. But really, I think you guys already know about that stuff. Most of the stuff, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you really don't know. So that's why I wanted to update you guys on it. And these two are not game related at all, like the figures, but it's some memorabilia that I got to take with me from Texas. First and foremost, since Jamal and I saw Guardians of the Galaxy on its opening night at the theater, they had this Guardians of the Galaxy cup, which is pretty awesome. And of course, it's got Rocket freaking Raccoon right up top, looking badass as ever. Hopefully, he doesn't ask for my arm to use it for something. I don't know why. But I got that, and it just sits on the bookcase of awesomeness. It just is a memento of how much fun we had at that theater. And then this was something that Jamal actually gifted for me, and it definitely does show our friendship being Kingdom Hearts fans. This, my friends, is a heartless shot glass. Jamal actually ordered a set of these online that had, one was Nobody and one was Heartless, and he just gave me this on my last day there. He's like, here you go, dude. And it was awesome, dude, because I wasn't expecting it. You know, I've been meaning to get shot glasses, but, you know, to have it come from a very, very good friend of mine, you know, it was fantastic. So here we are at the end of 22 minutes of this update video. Oh my god, I probably should have separated this into multiple parts, but hey, whatever. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm NGS signing out. Spidey's looking badass as ever on top of Nightwing. I don't know why is this happening, but it is, man. It is. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.